Every once in a while, the world is given a great operatic talent, a soaring voice that stirs to the very core. Pretty Yende may be such a voice, the next Maria Callas, Joan Sutherland or Jessie Norman.
I'm worried about tonight, if my Lucia will be acceptable, because there have been great Lucias all over the world.
It's the opening night of Lucia de l'Amour with the Cape Philharmonic Orchestra in Cape Town. Pretty Yende is making her Lucia debut in one of the most taxing roles in the operatic repertoire.
And here I am saying I would like to try it out. It's daunting.
But on the stage, her voice belies an uncertainty. Pretty Yende has the operatic world at the edge of their seats. Pretty hails from the timber town of Piet Retief near the Swaziland border in Mpumalanga. Although her family loved gospel music, she had no idea what opera was until she heard it for the first time when she was 16 on a television commercial. Less than a minute of the lyrical flower duet from the opera Lakme changed her life.
What happened the following day, I went to my high school teacher and I said, I heard something like this on TV. What is it called? And he said, it's called opera. I said, well, I need to do that.
And do it she has. With disarming determination, it has taken a mere 12 years, and she now has the world hanging on every note she sings. Did you ever imagine you'd want a career as an opera singer?
I didn't even know it was a career thing. All I wanted to know how to do that, which is something that I'm still doing now. I had no idea that the world was so big. You know, there were other people, other cultures, that it was not just Piet Retief.
From Mpumalanga to the Metropolitan Opera in New York, initially she was actively dissuaded from following opera as a career path. Did your music studies start in Piet Retief?
Yes, my school teacher advised me to join the choir, and I joined the choir, and he said to me, Pretty, I don't think this is for you. You're not a singer. And he was right. I just didn't know how to do that. But the love and the passion I had didn't make me to give up. It actually encouraged me.
And her tenacity paid off. Her voice was described as having a luminous sheen combined with steely resolve by the Metropolitan reviewers at her debut.
I always tell the youngsters, you know, for a young South African, this girl has already at this stage gone where nobody's gone before.
With very little music training, she left Piet Retief and came to study music here at the University of Cape Town. Virginia Davids helped mold her talent.
Breathe a bit more into the body, huh? And.
Virginia Davids was one of the first black women in South Africa to sing opera professionally in the 80s. She is now a sought-after vocal coach.
And I got this call right about September. Hello, my name is Pretty Yende, and I'm from Mpumalanga, and I'm coming to UCT next year, and I would like to come and study with you. I remember saying to my husband, I've got this cheeky kid on the phone who insists that you must come and study with me.
When I got to UCT, I realized that people had so much talent and they had been singing longer than I was. And so I would come to her lesson, I would say, I don't think I can do this. I don't have voice like that. She sounds amazing. He's great. I can't hit those notes. She taught me to love my voice.
Virginia says that she has seldom met a student more dedicated to her craft than Pretty, and natural on stage.
She got so much pleasure out of singing and of going on stage. And I think that's a special quality that the audience feels.
Although Pretty graduated cum laude, she couldn't afford to study further overseas, so she entered international singing competitions to showcase her talent. It led to a lucky break.
Pretty Yende came to international attention in 2010, where she was the first artist in the history of the Belvedere competition in Vienna to win first prize in every category.
On winning the competition, she was headhunted by the most prestigious opera house in Europe, La Scala in Milan. The jury realized she was a diamond in the making, and Pretty was offered a position at their academy in their Young Artists program. Offers began pouring in.
There's a joke amongst singers when the phone rings, we say, oh, there's the Met calling. We said, oh, the Met is really calling. She says, what should I say? I said, well, if you feel ready, you're going to say yes.
A lucky break came when the soprano in the New York Metropolitan Opera's production of Comte Doré fell ill. Pretty had virtually no time to learn the role of Adele.
I never knew I could have such courage to be able to accept a role that I'd never sung and to do it, you know, in a week at the Met.
It wasn't the smoothest start to a debut at the Metropolitan Opera. Before she'd even sung a note, Pretty Yende tripped and fell on a flight of stairs. But it didn't shake her confidence.
And I was like 2 minutes into the opera. I had never fallen on stage. I was like, why did it happen now?
This did not affect her performance, and although the audience and critics loved her, she says she learned a valuable lesson from falling.
I realized that I'm entering a level where I need to know I need to have my feet on the ground.
Ironically, her role of Lucia in Cape Town is about a girl who is completely ungrounded and loses her mind because she is forced into an arranged marriage.
It is conducted by world-famous Richard Bonning, whose wife, Dame Joan Sutherland, sang the role to critical acclaim.
My wife made her great splash in the world with Lucia April. So, of course, as an opera, we care a great deal about it. I've done so many. When people ask me to do it, I think, oh, dear, not again, Lucia, you know. But then when I get to doing it, then I'm conquered by it again. It's such a great, great work.
Richard and Joan were regarded as one of the world's greatest musical partnerships and changed the focus of bel canto opera.
I was worried that he might not like my voice.
It's a beautiful voice, she's a beautiful girl, she's extremely musical, and she's very quick to learn.
Although she's been preparing for 2 years for this role, singing it under the guidance of a maestro of the caliber of Richard Bonning was both a challenge and a gift.
It's a difficult role to portray because, I mean, the question is she a little bit mad at the beginning, or is she completely sane? Personally, I think she's a little fey in the beginning. One can see that she's a little prone to perhaps losing her mind, which of course she does under stress.
Her last high note got the audience on its feet in an ovation that continued for minutes. A triumphant debut, and with commitments in Los Angeles and Milan, there seems no stopping Pretty now.
There you are with your
I've been looking forward to, and I never imagined it to go this way.
fairy tales are still very much alive and well.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
I want to do it again.